Hey everybody, 8-Bit Josh here, and welcome back to my Life After People series. This time we're building a suburban house that has been overtaken by nature. That's sort of the whole concept of this series, is just a collection of habitats where I have a building or a scene of some kind where people are long gone and nature and animals have kind of retaken it and made it their home. But if you like this episode, why not hit that like button? And if you want to see more of these episodes, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. That way you'll get notified when new episodes go up. New episodes of my Life After People series go up every Monday. But before we get into the rest of the episode, let's get a quick word from today's sponsor, which is me. Or more specifically, my Kofi page. Since I create content on multiple platforms, I wanted one singular place where folks can support me monetarily should they choose to. And for that, I have chosen Kofi. You can make one-time donations, which 100% of your money goes to me, or you could choose a monthly membership, which 95% of your support goes to me. If you choose a monthly membership, depending on the tier you choose, there are different benefits you'll receive, such as behind the scenes content, shout out for new members, and your name displayed at the end of videos and live streams, as well as a special Discord role in our Discord server. So if you enjoy my videos or my live streams and are interested in supporting me, please consider using Kofi. You can find my page at kofi.com/8bitjosh. A link to that is always in the description below. All right, so yeah, I decided to go with a sort of suburban house just because I feel like that's a pretty common sort of post-apocalyptic scene you'll see in any kind of video game, movie, TV show, whatever. I think the challenge for this one, though, for me was actually making the house to scale, because as you can see, not only was I just doing the outside, but I actually did the interior as well, and I wanted it to be as close to scale as possible, or at least I could make. You can see I have the angry archer there to help me make sure I keep the scale just right. But one thing I didn't get to do as much in this as I wanted is sort of like the street and outside, like the yard and everything, because the diorama size was just big enough really to fit the house. And yes, I know I could use terrain tools and make it a little bigger, but I try to keep all of these builds within the sort of default size of the diorama. But the other thing I did is I actually built this the house sort of on the diagonal, so that the front is actually kind of the corner of the diorama. Usually I just I'll make it kind of line up with the flat sides of the terrain. I thought it would just be kind of different to do it at a different angle this time around. But yeah, really, I would say like 75% of the time spent building this was actually the interior. Because, doing the outsides of buildings, if you're just doing like basically the frame of a building and you're not doing an interior, it really doesn't take that long. But, I had to think about like the stairs here, for instance. I make a kitchen. There's the bedrooms, which I actually didn't do anything with the bedrooms. But yeah, there's a second floor. I also had to think about like the ceilings and the floors and things like that. I wanted to make sure everything was sort of kind of to scale, that the ceilings weren't too short or they weren't too tall. And as I usually do in my building, I'll work in one area and then I'll kind of get bored and work in another section. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna work on the like driveway and the street outside a little bit. You can already see the raccoons there. I did the deer and raccoons because I felt that both were pretty common. I mean, you'll see raccoons in a suburban area anyway, and then the deer generally live in an area where suburbs have been built up. So I was like, well, if nature is overtaking this area, the deer would naturally just kind of come back. Oh yeah, I also did the basement, which was, so, you know, there was a lot. I've never built a house in Planet Zoo, and the game is not really like intended to build houses like suburban homes, but obviously you can do it. So it just took a little more thought, I guess, on my end to just kind of make sure everything was about the right size and scale. Here you can see I actually didn't record making like the cabinets and countertops and things for the kitchen, but you can see there I made like a little stove, and I did an island that has the sink, and I made the refrigerator. Yeah, and then just again using these decal pieces, which I've said before, if these didn't exist in the game, this series wouldn't exist, because it really is just it brings the whole thing together. But most of the time spent on this build was doing the interior, especially with the decals, like doing all the like damaged pieces, making things look like they're crumbling and kind of falling apart, adding all the cracks, and like I love those moss pieces. They work. The default color on those is green, obviously, because they're moss, but you can change the color and make them sort of like a brownish color or whatever, so it almost makes it look more like dirt and muck and stuff like that. Yeah, I had to do these decal pieces all over the entire interior of the house and the exterior. So it was like I said, this is what the majority of my time in this build was spent doing. I also wanted like a little area here where the kind of wall had crumbled and you can see the frame that's in the inside. I actually did think about making like the whole wooden frame of the house, but I was like, that's too much. I don't need to go all the way there. So I just did that one little section that like faces the garage. I also wanted like at least one part of the house where like a giant tree is kind of grown up from the inside and is sticking out. So that's what that big hole there in the ceiling and the roof eventually will be, is just a giant tree that's growing up from the inside out. Yeah, so more just placing these damaged decals and the cracks and the dirt and moss everywhere, just to make it look obviously that it's very old and ruined and people haven't lived here for a very long time. The other cool thing is the raccoons and the deer can walk through the entire house. I don't remember if the deer can go upstairs to the second floor, but the raccoons definitely can. And the basement as well is completely traversable, so they'll be able to definitely make use of the whole house. Yeah, I wanted the frame there just to be like completely covered in moss, but yeah, you can see like I just keep going. I keep placing like all of these decal pieces everywhere, which is still some of the best pieces that were ever added to Planet Zoo. I would love to see even more of this, these kind of things added to the game. But you can see I did like the doors that would lead to the bedrooms, but I didn't do the interiors of the bedrooms just because I didn't really feel like it was totally necessary. So that's why I kind of added like the grunge and moss and stuff kind of growing over the doors to make it look like they haven't actually opened in a while. But yeah, I think that will do it for the time lapse. So let's go ahead and jump into the real-time gameplay, and we'll take a quick tour of the whole house. All right, and here is the finished house and yard and all that stuff. You can already see, look at the deer hanging out grazing. I think they really like it here, but yeah, so again, just adding all of these details to make everything look like it's in ruin and disrepair. You know, like I said, these decal pieces just really sell the concept of this whole series. Oh, you can see here's one of the little raccoons chilling, relaxing. So some of the stuff that maybe wasn't covered in the time lapse, you can see much more of the kind of the road is all crumbled, as well as like the walkway here. Building this on the diagonal like this actually was a bit tough with the road here, you know, kind of making it cut off right at the edge there, but I think it turned out pretty good. I didn't do the usual, well, what I did in previous episodes with the kind of making like a sinkhole in the water pipes. I didn't want to do that in every episode. I also love doing, also like raising up the terrain a little bit through like what would be like a road or driveway, adding the plants and then the damaged decal pieces, I think works so well. We got the garage here, obviously also very ruined in here. This is where everybody sleeps. You can see I think there's 4 raccoons, so 3 of them are in there. We also got the deer sleeping in here. That's just a really nice little picture. I love that, the male deer in the background there. Wonder if I could get like a nice little screenshot of the 2 of them. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, I also added like this house maybe had a privacy fence at one point, which is now crumbling and kind of falling apart. We got a big old tree back here. We've got the raccoons can actually climb this tree. I saw one of them earlier. Let's see. Well, he's not in there now, but one of them was up in the tree earlier. I also did like a little old like sandbox here. Got like a little shovel and a pail there. We've got the back door, which is kind of falling off the hinges there. Here's the other side of the privacy fence. And of course, we've got like everything kind of growing up around it. We've got like random boxes and just trash and things that people maybe have left, at one point when there were still people here. Always have to have like the crashed Jeep. This is the only vehicle we have in the game. Well, there's buses, but as far as like cars and things, I wish we had all the cars that they added in Planet Coaster, because that would be awesome. Yeah, here's the big old tree growing through the house. Oh, I think everybody's in here now. Is everybody in here? Everybody's in here. Everybody's sleeping. I have another screenshot because that's kind of cool. Seeing them all chilling and sleeping in there together. But then we go to the inside of the house, which, as I said, I tried to make everything sort of to scale. I thought it'd be easiest if, this was like living room, that it was, like had high ceilings. So the second floor is really just this like, kind of walkway up here that leads to the bedrooms. There's really not much in the way of a second floor. That was really just because it was easier and quicker for me as far as building goes. However, I am pretty proud of the kitchen here, because again, we don't really have like kitchen pieces in the game, so using a combination of just wood pieces. I think these are the African like windows, as well as just the sort of generic art shape pieces to make the countertops, the stove here, and the refrigerator. Even got the shelves there. Yes, we got our sink over here, random boxes and things. I even did the tile backsplash there, which you find a lot in more modern kitchens nowadays. Yeah, and again, just putting random stuff around, because I feel like that also is part of the post-apocalyptic look. Just adding like random stuff for, when people were here and they left it as they move on to another location. We have the basement here, which is also, all of this is traversable. So all the animals can walk in through here. You know, they can come down here, walk through, get to the backyard. All of this part of the basement is traversable as well. I thought about putting some of the bedding down here in case, you know, any of the animals wanted to sleep down here. I didn't end up doing that. I actually kind of forgot, to be honest, but I thought about it, and that's the most important thing. Yeah, so there's the basement. I don't know why I like the little sandbox here. Maybe because I actually even put the sand terrain type in there. Let's see, the deer and the raccoons all just kind of hanging out. Yeah, here's what I was talking about with the moss pieces. Like if you change the color to a brownish color, it looks more like just dirt and mud and guck. You can see I spend a lot of time placing decals all around the house. It got moss growing up side of the house there. I even did a little bit on the roof, not too much, but just in certain places like the corners, kind of where the different angles meet. I thought was appropriate to have some damage and wear and tear at those points. Oh yeah, I also did this. I made a whole garage door. I was deciding whether I wanted to put a garage door because I was like, well, it's like a ruined, dilapidated house. Maybe it just fell off and, you know, the pieces were taken for whatever resources for the metal and all that stuff, or the plastic. But I thought it'd be more fun to actually add it because it just kind of adds to the look of the whole house. But yeah, so there's the suburban home. I rather like it. Again, I think the deer and the raccoons were the perfect addition for this setting. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any ideas or suggestions for other scenes that are sort of post-apocalyptic, you know, the animals that you think might go with that setting as well. I think one of the more fun things, besides the actual building of all the different scenes, I think one of the more fun things about it is actually just coming up with the ideas. Oh, here's our raccoon friend climbing up the tree. Keep going. How far up you gonna go? Oh, went into the tree. There he is, up on the branch. Oh, his friend's coming to join him. It's a raccoon party in the tree. Yeah, just coming up with different scene ideas, and then kind of an animal that seems would make sense for that scene has been fun. I'm especially excited for the next episode. I think it's maybe the single best thing I have ever created in Planet Zoo. So I'm pretty excited for that. But yeah, so there we go. If you like this episode, make sure to give the video a like, hit the subscribe button as well. And like I said, yeah, if you have any ideas for scenes, let me know in the comments below. And if you'd like to check out these dioramas that I made, every diorama is going up on my Steam workshop, with the link to that is always in the description down below. I will see you all on the next episode.